Well, we left old Joe last week and Mary going into Bethlehem, and they were going to have a baby. They knew that. She was pretty well pregnant, and she'd been pregnant long enough. He wasn't quite sure how long, though, because he married her under the directions of the priests, and you know how they are. And so they got old Joe all ready there, and Mary, and they performed the ceremony. Sure enough, they were married man and wife all the way. Well, the Bible also tells us that they went in and he put her on the back of a donkey or a mule, taking her to the place of his birthplace so that they could be counted in the census. And they told us that there was no room at the inn. He got there and the hotels were all full, pre-booked of course, overbooked I guess. Just wasn't any room, but he says to the proprietor, the one, he says, "Hey, buddy," he's looking out there. He says, "That woman's pregnant and she's sitting on a mule there and just about ready to pop, and I don't know what to do. I don't want her to be out in the street. Haven't you got something?" Well, that old boy, he's got a little compassion there, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "the only thing I really got is in the stable there. You can take her over there and use the hay and make a little bed there, and at least she'll have a place to rest, and hopefully she won't have her baby tonight, but we'll see what we can do tomorrow." Well, it's always the way they are in those places. But, you know, the thing is, the stables were pretty rare in Bethlehem because they had a lot of caves, though, and they would put the animals in the cave for protection. If they built a stable that had a roof and everything, well, they'd convert that pretty fast into a home because those people didn't have a lot of anything, and they were very akin to the poverty areas in third world countries that we see today. Just anything, cardboard. They didn't have cardboard then either, but that's what we see today: cardboard over shacks, tar paper over windows, and dirt floors, and so you can pretty well bet that that's what they had in the way of a stable. So they go into the cave, and basically that's what it had to be. And they're going to have a baby. They aren't sure, though, but there's a lot of stories about that, stories about the animals there. And that's another thing. If you got enough cattle or cows, and they're in a stable, they put out a lot of heat, and that could kind of help keep the stable warm. So we'll kind of hope, I don't know if it doesn't say anything about them, but we'll hope there was some cattle there and some hay that hadn't been eaten, and a few other things that they could use. They couldn't light no fire in that cave because there was nothing there to light a fire with, but they put the swaddling clothes down and made her a little bed, I presume. Well, the rest of the story is just as marvelous. Seems like after the baby was born, out in where the shepherds were tending their flocks, there was a bright light, a really bright light, and it shone. And then a voice came out of this light, and it said, "Behold, the blah, 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 born of Bethlehem, blah, blah, blah." And the reason I do that because the words that they use in the various books are different. Each one has their own interpretation of what was said, but basically it really boils down to this. There is a king, the king of Jerusalem, or our leader, our Savior, is born in Bethlehem tonight. And the reason I explain all that, because in one place they did say king, another it was like Savior, and it depends on the Bible you read, I guess, because there have been so many interpretations of the Bible and so many different Bibles out today. They have so many different things they say. There's even one Bible that doesn't call Mary a virgin. It says a young lady. That's kind of interesting. But there again, when the priests gave her to Joseph as a wife, they told her she was a virgin, all right. Well, if a priest doesn't say it, who can you believe? Well, And then again, the wise men. There's another thing. They talk about the wise men coming to see the little guy, and that they were led by a big star. A star led them in there and told them where to go. And over the manger there, where Jesus was born, they said there was a star. Now I'm going to cover all that next week, and that ought to be really interesting. So God bless y'all, and thank you for letting me share a little of the very little that I know with you. I'll talk to you next.